Hi, welcome back. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Osman, commonly known as Osman the Blind Yogi, and you can find me mainly on the platforms under the same moniker of Osman the Blind Yogi on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. These are my main content channels, including LinkedIn and X as well. And today I wanted to discuss something absolutely amazing and mind blowing, and that is the highest potency of the ecstasy or the biggest high on the planet, that and how to harness it through meditation, and how to harness its addictive power so that you can slowly start formulating that habit and enjoying it from day one, and let it blossom like a flower and not become like a task or a chore, right? And this is a thing that is, I noticed that a lot of people they take meditation like some form of protocol, like some sort of diet or some sort of exercise program that you follow 1, 2, 3 steps, and you have to get up certain time in the morning, you must be consistent, and you have to sit and you have to close your eyes, be comfortable, and it's like the focus is incorrect, right? So I'm now teaching, practicing yoga meditation for over 50 years on an advanced level, and also teaching from 1981, right? And over that period, I've taught in over, students are from over 100 countries around the world, thousands and thousands of students, right, I've been through. And I kept refining my own protocols to simplify it, to make it easier for my students, because the best barometer or the best measure of my practices was, because I'm teaching from my practice, because I was taught by my teacher, don't talk about something if you didn't experience it, right? Or don't, if you want to teach someone something, you must yourself be practicing it regularly before you teach it. Don't teach it, theoretically. And that comes to my biggest pushback on most of the yoga teachers is, I mean, what's yoga? Yoga it means union, right? Union of, so different people interpret that union in different ways, but it's taking yourself to the samadhi level. So let's look at it from a logical perspective, right? So the Yoga Sutras is considered the canonical work of yoga, like the go-to. It's the Bible of yoga, for yoga practice. And it's got the eightfold yoga, the 8 steps of yoga: yama, niyama, asan, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Starting with yama and ending with samadhi. Samadhi is, the literal word, it's a Sanskrit word, right? When you're referring that, it's a dead body, right? So someone who's attained samadhi means, it means he died. So instead of saying, someone, if someone has to refer to a death and coming, for the funeral of someone, say, please attend the samadhi services or the samadhi rituals, come say your final goodbye. That is the proper original word. So people, Sanskrit is a very complex language. There's like 20, 30 meanings to a single word, and different philosophers and schools of thought interpret it all in different ways. In my opinion, from my experience, I just went into an explosive, ecstatic experience. So there is ecstasy, then there is When we say explosive ecstasy, it's so ecstatic it knocks you unconscious. And when you come back from your consciousness, that level of unconscious, some people, I mean, I'm in this field for a long time, and I'm networking with other, advanced meditators over the decades. There's one meditator, he went into samadhi. He was a very strong guy, right? And when you experience that, it is like something you can't bear. You say, stop, 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 stop. In your mind, you say, so, and sometimes it doesn't stop, right? But fortunately, in my case, because my foundational practices were solid before I had the experience, where the foundation is Hatha Yoga and Pranayama, right? And also, if I reflect to Patanjali's teaching, you say yama, niyama, asan, pranayama. So when they're saying asan, it means sitting place, theoretically, right? So like how I'm sitting now, this is asan, but a comfortable posture for meditation. But not, I think the word comfortable is a bit deceptive. We have to say a tactical posture. Because when that energy explodes, right, the posture makes a difference on your capability to be able to withstand it more efficiently. So when you're sitting normally, like how you sit in a couch and this ecstasy comes, the samadhi feeling comes, right? When it comes, man, you're going to get toppled over. You cannot withstand it. It is out of control, no control. You cannot control it. But if you sit in Siddhasana, not the normal easy, I'm sitting now in Siddhasana, right? Um, to just briefly go over Siddhasana, you keep your two legs, forward, and then either leg, it doesn't matter. But according to the yoga traditions, you fold your right leg and bring your heel to your perineum, right? The soft spot between your genitals and your anus. It's you don't have to really touch it, but you bring it close to that region, right? Because that's where the root chakra is situated. It doesn't. So some tradition they press it hard, and they block especially in males, they block the blood flow to their genitals, in order to kill the nerve, so that they can maintain celibacy. That is, something that I will say is the most barbaric thing. And the people who are advocating, okay, I mean, everyone's free to do what they want, right? Some people are masochists, but I'm not a masochist, and I know the real reason because I'm experiencing it, right? Is to be able to withstand and control that high energy. When it comes to be able to, like mindfully control, and and this is not the proper reason that's given in any of the yoga books, that the posture is for controlling them. Nowhere did I read it. It is just because of practicing it, I noticed, right? Sitting like normal cross-legged, sitting in Siddhasana and sitting in Padmasana, right? So Siddhasana, you're bending your right heel, bringing your right heel close to your perineum, and then you you fold your left leg and place it above, so that your toes go slightly between the calf and your right calf and thigh, in that area, and your ankles are like not touching, right? Because if your ankles touch, it's painful. So your heel is like, your two heels is like one on top of the other, right? And to sit comfortably like this, it took me 2 years to practice for me to be able to sit just, like a reasonable amount of time of 15 to 20 minutes, right? To be able to sit, it took me 2 years of practice, because I keep practicing, and then I used to sit and meditate with my legs crossed like that. After about, it was painful, right? But I needed to practice stretching the inner thigh muscles so that it's comfortable, right? So it takes time, and it took me 2 years before I can sit about 2 minutes, 20 minutes. And then as learn to control when the Kundalini energy is awakened, that high, uh, what they say, it's a dormant, it's in low power mode by standard, right? Keeping you alive. It's part of your life force energy. But when you activate and awaken it, take it out of the dormant or take it out of power saver mode, you can incrementally incrementally start dialing it up. And this is the practice of pranayama and kundalini yoga and so forth, right? To be able to do that. And sitting cross-legged in Siddhasana, man, I found, hey, I can control I can withstand higher levels than if I'm not. So I can dial up, higher and higher. And when you're sitting with the Kundalini awaken, then you don't feel pain. You can stay long in cross-legged because your entire body becomes extremely loose. It becomes like rubber when that Kundalini energy is coursing through on the higher level throughout your cells and throughout your body, vibrating it. It also loosens the cartilage and your joints, and you become like like you can bend yourself into all absurd positions. You can take your leg and put it behind your head. Especially Hatha Yoga becomes very easy when the Kundalini energy is higher, and when the energy is lower, your body becomes more stiff. So when I'm seeing I'm struggling with the postures, I know my energy is a bit low, and then I see, oh the posture is so easy, it's so amazing, and I can bend more and more and more, and like go really beyond, like twisting yourself into a pretzel. That's when the Kundalini energy is higher. So this is the how people can sit long hours. So now, when by default, if like as I'm talking on the videos, so I can't sit more than 1 or 2 hours comfortably. So normally, I mean, on a normal mode, I can sit about two. I can push it to 3 hours, right? But I need to go into samadhi or the higher awakened kundalini, then I can sit 18 hours, no problem. I'm not gonna, feel any pain. And the whole body feels amazing, and like it's amazing to sit. And you feel like that energy is directed and controlled properly, right? So as I was saying about the samadhi experience that I got, there's the one guy, he decided to stay longer in samadhi, because you can't just go into samadhi and stay long in it, right? You have to stay a few seconds, right? And then go to slowly build it up to a minute, 2 minutes, and to attain samadhi, oh God, man, people struggle. So like 3 to 4 in a million can reach or taste samadhi only once in their life. But if you have the right type of teachers experience, teach you the protocols to prepare your body. There's a lot of foundational work that helps to prepare your body for the safe awakening and development, and increasing it incrementally and harnessing its power and learning to trust with it, right? Learn to also, control it, and then you learn that it's an intelligent energy. You think and it does, right? You think of your solar plexus power, like your navel region, there's an energy center there. You just focus your mind, it suddenly go, and then it'll activate, it'll power up that energy center. You think of the energy center between your in your third eye region, and you just think split second, and that energy quickly goes there it's got 3 power levels that you can control it in, right? They're called the moon, fire, and sun, right? So you must imagine the moon is so cool and soothing. So it's like a feather, it's not overwhelming you, because you can keep it active 24/7 while you're walking, while you're talking. While I'm talking to you, my Kundalini is awake, right? In the moon level, right? And then to take it into fire level, you can use Kundalini pranayama, right? Or Kriya practice, and take it. And then as you develop the fire gets as powerful as 1,000 suns or 1,000,000 suns, right? You can keep dialing it up, and it keeps dialing up, right? It keeps going up. And then you can go into into the breathless state, and the bliss is bliss overload, right? So coming back to this guy who he felt he's strong and he wanted to hold it as long as possible, right? When it newly was going into samadhi. So he decided to hold it for about, I think about 20-30 minutes. He tried to hold it, right? And sat in the proper posture and, holding it. And then when he came out of it, the body, of course, the body is not used to it. Your mind, and also, I mean, it's overwhelming. Just that I don't know how he was able to withstand that, right? But when he came out, he could not talk for 40 days. So normally when I go into the samadhi, when I come out, the first few times when I went, when I came out, I could not open your mouth. You want the words to come out, nothing comes. You are overwhelmed. So I saw Dr. Christoph Koch, an interview in Buddha the gas pump. I mean, not Buddha the gas pump, sorry, Professor Andrew Huberman, Huberman Labs, Huberman Labs and Huberman Labs Essentials, right? He interviewed Professor Andrew Koch, and Andrew Koch was doing experiments on testing DMT in a laboratory situation, but he wanted to experience it for himself as well. So he tried it twice. He tried it the second time because it was so mind blowing. He wanted to confirm if it's repeatable, right? If it wasn't some type of extreme imagination. And after that, he said he will never do it again because it took him straight to the highest level of, ecstasy. When he came back, he he folded himself into the fetal position and was crying, and he was very embarrassed, right, about it, crying, and he couldn't talk. Yeah, you need about half an hour, 1 hour, depends how long you was in it, right, to recover from it, right? So, the first time I experienced it, I got knocked unconscious. The bliss overload. You got unconscious from bliss. It's like, imagine, if I have to be explicit, right? I try to say this in as polite or as decent a way as possible and as censored as possible. So when you are in the bliss of intimacy, physical intimacy with your loved one, right? And you're going into and you're experiencing the ecstasy there, right? Which in women they experience it for a few minutes, in men a few seconds, right? And it's like if you sustain it, and there are some people, or especially in women, when they go into it and it's sustained and they have multiple ecstatic, you could take your female counterpart into multiple ecstatic levels that they even can pass out from the ecstasy. It's so ecstatic, right? This thing is, you can multiply that by 1,000, the samadhi, right? Multiplied by 1,000, and it is, and people experience it the best. People who use psychedelics, like they use DMT, Dr. Christoph Koch, he experienced that. So he sees this ball of white light, right? And it's like, they say like you're meeting God, right? I can assure you that's not God, right? But they feel it's God and they're talking to God. You get to know what's your purpose in life. All your questions get answered and you feel extreme love, bliss, ecstasy, all the knowledge and so forth. And you have to go multiple experiences, and especially with the ayahuasca experience, they go, and many people make it like an annual trip, to go that 5 to 10 days. And every year they keep going. It's as if the the pieces of the puzzle starts coming together. And some people mentioned that after about 10 such experience, they felt like the last few pieces of the puzzles is coming into place, that you start understanding everything. In my case, I keep going to samadhi over the decades. I start to understand deeper and deeper all the meanings of life, in terms of my questions, right? Not in terms of generally to teach others. Whatever questions I have gets answered. Whatever gets confused, but not instantly. Like develops as my mind expands. The deeper and deeper question slowly starts getting answered. Over the decades, right? But with the psychedelics, instantly you go into that. But the problem with DMT is it's too fast and too short, right? Because it can only be sustained, I think, about 10-15 minutes, and you come out of it. And sometimes, depending on your own subconscious blockages, you can go into negative experiences, right? Which is very frightening and horrendous. Mm, uh, Someone who recommends the best, safest, you go directly to the positive high, directly to that bliss samadhi experience, same as the samadhi experience. From what they are describing, they're describing what I experience in samadhi, right? So is the five MEO, right? They said five MEO, or SMEO. I think five MEO, five MEO. That actually is according to Joe Rogan, right? And some of his guests, right? So these people know what they're talking about. They are psychonauts, and they are using this safely and under strict professional supervision, and using it for a long time. And they recommend, uh, you know, um, different types, and also mushrooms from a clinical medical perspective. In modern medicine, we have the schedule of drugs, and there's a chart of the harmfulness of drugs, right? So what level it is, there's a hierarchy, and right high up is tobacco, tobacco smoke cigarettes, and alcohol is high up in addictive properties, harmfulness, and so forth. The lowest level of harm, lowest, safest, maybe even therapeutic, right, is mushrooms. Right? So a friend of mine who's from London, and he likes traveling to Amsterdam regularly, and he never ever tried mushrooms and all that. And I keep saying, hey, you're going right there. I mean, I wouldn't try it because I don't want something to do chemically. But I mean, he smokes cigarettes, and he when he goes there, he likes to try their weed, and so, because weed is legal in that country, right? And you get all types of choices and all types of brews of that weed, and what type of experience you want to have. It's really amazing what he describes, the different formulas, like the alchemy of the weed, right? And I said, how come you never try mushrooms? Because he said, no, he's scared. And because he's a friend of mine, when we meet very occasionally, live, then I did for him a complete chakra unblocking. Means I unblocked his entire 114 major energy centers. I don't know how many thousands of minor energy centers. And they say there is 72,000 nadis. Some yogic scriptures say it's actually 300,000 nadis, and some say 350,000. These are the subtle conduits, like the physical gross nervous system, but this is something very subtle you can't see with the naked eye. Like a tube system that life force energy flows through, your pranic energy, your energy flows through. And this is what needs to be cleared and cleared. It's like experience in terms of subconscious blockages, right? So I cleared all 350,000, right? And there is a methodology that I use, that I developed, that is unique to me in the world. No other person on the planet knows this, because I developed it on my own, that is able to. And in some people, I'm able to do it in one session, some in 2 or 3 sessions. Also 18 to 90%, 90% of the people in 1 to 3 sessions, right? So it depends on you. If you are someone who works out regularly, goes to the gym and take care of your fitness level and your diet, and you're someone who is responsible in terms of your health, especially someone who is like athlete, right? For them, maybe even in 15 minutes. One session is normally about 90 minutes, right? 60 to 90 minutes. And within 10, 15 professional athletes, I can have them they fully cleansed in a very short space of time. And also others who practice meditation. But I noticed from the people who practice meditation long term and the people who work out regularly, people who work out regularly is more advanced in terms of that I can clear their blockages so much easier, like about 10 times faster than someone who's meditating daily basis, right? I had occasion to do chakra unblocking to a long-term meditator who was initiated by a very powerful guru, right? And I know him, I know that teacher, and I know he's got the pure energy. And when he initiated this student, that energy was so raw and so powerful, it knocked that person unconscious, right? Which is that it was correct, and I mean, no one was pretending. And come 65 years later, and this person all the time daily is practicing both pranayama and meditation, right? Means this is supposed to be cleansed like a whistle, right? But I promise you, I did about 5 90-minute sessions, and it was still not even 1 inch unblocked. Completely. They never see even a white light. Usually, first they'll see a white light. It means the spiritual energy is like now active, and then they see the different colors of the 7 colors of the rainbows. These are 7 major chakras are awakening, and then we go to the minor chakras and the rest of the body and so forth, right? So coming back to this, why I'm mentioning the psychedelics is I know there are some very safe psychedelics, and there are places where it's legal. Like when you go on a vacation, I mean, you're going on a vacation, why not go on a psychedelic trip? And you can prepare yourself by doing pranayama, and meditation is a preparation, especially hatha yoga. If you go to a yoga class at least once a week, right, for about 2 years, I would say you're generally ready. You know that most of your major blockages, you're not going to have a negative, it's unlikely for you to have a negative trip with a psychedelic if you did hatha yoga practice once a week, go to some specific class or follow something online, right? For about 45 to 60 minutes, right? For about an hour session. And do something where there's as many postures that bends all the major centers, awakens all the major centers. And you can download my 5 minute free yoga meditation program. There I've got the 3 practical major postures that is sufficient that you practice that in the comfort of your bed. This is in 5 minutes, 3 postures for 3 minutes and meditation for 2 minutes, right? You can download it for free from our website, yogawellness786.com, right? And it will prepare you, but be patient, right? You have to wait 2 years or come to someone who knows what is chakra unblocking, professional chakra unblocking like myself, and do that as a precursor, man, because you're spending money, right? You're going, let's say, for a 5 or 10 day ayahuasca experience in Costa Rica or in South America or Peru or whatever it is, right? And you're spending about $2,000 or something for that. I mean, do a chakra unblocking first, right? From a professional person. This is going to exponentially improve your experience. Because a lot of people go, they feel they have no experience in the first 2 or 3 days, right? It's only on the third or fourth day, about 10% of the people feel anything at all, and then they start having, and it's a very mild experience, right? But if you are fully cleansed, like with the chakra unblocking is instantaneous. One shot, you are 90% of my of my clients or patients are ready for the most amazing psychedelic experience, right? And then after that, when whenever you are using a psychedelic, you're going to have the most amazing, safe, and life-changing, right, experience, right? So, pairing someone who practices regular yoga meditation And then when you're going once, unfortunately, it's not legal in most countries, right? This is a good thing. Otherwise, you'll want to do it every day, right? So once a year, go to the nearest place where it's legal, like Costa Rica, Peru, Amsterdam, and do it under supervision, right, of a professional person. I mean, there are these. I suppose the centers where you can go to where they can monitor you, and they're monitoring a lot of people, and you're going to be safe during, because it's important that you choose someone safe that you can have this experience with, right? So coming back to harnessing in a very easy, simple way from day one, the addictive, because once you get addicted to meditation, this is the best addiction possible because it's got so many scientifically proven positive benefits, right? You can go online and see the medical forums. There's over 50,000 papers on the benefits of meditation. So, you're able to meditate and but also experience it. Who doesn't want to have a pleasant experience? You go for a massage, you go for a vacation, you make love and you go into ecstasy, you consume, you relax with alcohol, or you're taking ecstasy, the when you develop your meditation and taste the highest power, there is nothing in the multiverse, there's nothing in existence that is more mind-blowing, more powerful, more ecstatic, more amazing, and so great than the samadhi experience of, it's called sabikalpi samadhi, the activation of your seventh chakra when you glow into samadhi, because I can sit in seventh chakra, you're not going directly into samadhi, you go into a different, and when you have a psychedelic experience and you experience that power, where you see the big white light, the same light that people see when they have NDEs, right, a near-death experience. And in psychedelics, you have OBE, right, out-of-body experience. In the death experience, scientifically, Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross wrote the book on death and dying. She did a research on the accounts of over 20,000 patients worldwide, and found that everyone's story is similar, but it usually ends in they see the light, and it's a very amazing, blissful, peaceful, and amazing that you want to go. It's like the most amazing thing, to experience and go. You want to go. So a lot of people misinterpret and say this is the God. This I study this very. This is not, God is beyond. If you can experience it, and you can come back and talk about it, means you are explaining it within the construct of your mind, or you perceived it within a certain limitations of your mind or your intellect. And there are certain aspects in creation that is beyond time and space, beyond the construct of the mind, and that is still a creation. So the creator of that which is created something so great beyond is going to be greater than that. You're not going to be, no, you can't see God, you can't speak to God, and this is hallucination, right? So, but you can. God speaks to people via prophets or via mediums or via angels or through the angel Gabriel or through that white light. It's possible, right? That they speaking to God through that. It's like a satellite center that you can, and it's even that is so mind blowing, right? So coming back, how to harness this in a safe and way that you're going to develop is what I teach my students. And if you feel that 5-minute yoga meditation program is too complicated for you, and you you don't want to do the physical posture, you just want to sit, so do just the meditation, the 2-minute meditation, right? So the best, easiest way, instead of focusing on your breath and all that, right, is to sit. Of course, try to sit in the right posture, the fold. So you have to train your legs to fold, because when that samadhi experience comes eventually, which don't think it's going to come overnight or within a couple of days or couple of weeks or couple of months or couple of years. People are struggling for 50 years and not experiencing it, right? But if you follow my protocols, you can increase your probability of that experience greatly. But one thing is guaranteed for everyone: you'll start feeling amazing from day one, right? Before you even experience the samadhi level. So sit comfortably. Okay, let's imagine now you can't sit cross-legged yet and so forth, right? So before we do the advanced thing, we just want to get you into it. Meditate only 2 minutes, right? So you sit comfortably, and very important, listen to your favorite genre of music. So some people like, in my students, most of my students like to listen to the Buddhist lounge music. So if you search on YouTube, Buddhist lounge music, there are like long tracks, 2 hours, 3 hours track, and it's like flute and Rumi's flute and Tibetan flute and Tibetan this thing. So it's you got a host, hundreds of tracks, right, that you can listen to. And sometimes I used to listen, but it's like for me it's a bit boring. I prefer trance music, right? Or high energy, or rave music, or dance music, right? Or gym workout music. I like that music, right? It's like something, this thing, right? So I listen. If I listen to that and sit and meditate with my earphones on, blowing it at, so I have to be responsible and say, don't go above 80 decibels, right? If you go above, it's going to create damage to your eardrums and your ears. And I just go into maximum, right, level, and I want to feel the thump of that music, right? Very rarely I use the music. Today I was listening to the music and meditating, because I'm so exhausted. The past few days I've been so busy with my, adjusting new protocols and so forth, that I've been hardly getting time to sleep more than 1.5 to 2 hours in at a stretch. And I know I don't have a block of time to sleep that 7 to 9 hours, and I was prioritizing that always. And for the last I think over the last week and a half, I've been only having at best 3 to 4 hours, at best, if I'm lucky, right? And like for example, last night, yesterday during the day, I slept 2.5 hours, and then I was so exhausted by 8 p.m. I wanted to finish all my work and then sleep in a block of time, right? And I was so exhausted, I just had to sleep for an hour. I slept from 8 to 9, and then I still had to finish my work, right? And while working, halfway through my work, I slept again for another, I think, an hour and a half. Yes, an hour and a half. So 2.5 plus an hour and a half is 4, plus an hour is 5. But it's not in one. You're supposed to sleep in one block, right? And this thing, what I'm doing, is one of the most dangerous things that one could ever. So sometimes I say it's a temporary thing, because I'm, entrepreneur and self-employed, and I know, that I need to do this. It's like I don't want to do it. I'm forced to do it, right? And I shouldn't be saying this online, but and then I sometimes can rest in meditation, but meditation cannot replace sleep, right? Although it's said to be more relaxing than sleep theoretically, right? But you can't take that chance. You must sleep as well. This is normal. So I was listening to it today, and it's so easy to go long periods, right? So, from my students' experiences, they don't like to listen to music and all those things. So, they just want to meditate on focusing on the breath, but I give them the 2 minute rule. So, a lot of them don't want to do any yoga postures. So, I just tell them, sit in the comfort of your bed, lean back on the headboard, or put a pillow behind you. You're nice and comfortable, stretch your leg out, or, sit in an easy cross-legged posture or something, and just close your eyes. And the easiest method is to observe your breath, right? Like the mindfulness meditation. Just bring your mind to observing how you are breathing. Don't manipulate your breathing. Just leave yourself to breathe naturally. Just observe it. Now that you're breathing in, And just observe the breath going in and observe it going out. And what's going to happen is, as you're observing it and you start feeling, just feel very relaxed and calm. So the length of your breath going to get shorter and shorter until it's so short, it's like almost like you're not breathing. And eventually you'll go to the breathless state, right? As you're getting advanced after decades of this thing. And if you follow some of my students was able to experience the breathless state within 12 months, right? But that is a very rare situation. Generally, 99.9, 99.9996%, right? 99.996% is not going to experience the breathless state, right? But you can experience the amazing feeling. And to get that amazing feeling from day one, first, let's say without music, just close your eyes and sitting comfortably for 2 minutes only. Like, don't make an alarm clock for 2 minutes. Don't count in your mind any counting. Just what you feel is approximately 2 minutes, right? According to your feeling. So maybe your feeling is feeling 2 minutes at the 1 minute mark or the 1 minute and 10 second mark. That's fine, but you're feeling like 2 minutes, right? Because you must just sit totally relaxed and just I like to sit cross-legged comfortably and then touch the hand, so you close the circuit, right? So it's the best way, starting way, right? And close your eyes and be totally relaxed, and only for 2 minutes approximately, and just observe your breathing. Now you're breathing in, now you're breathing out, now you're breathing in, now you're breathing out. Just observe the breath like that. Feel so calm. Okay, let's do a meditation together, right? You are sitting wherever you are, sit comfortably, right? So we'll do an approximate 2 minutes, right? Meditation. And if there's birds chirping, like now you can hear a bird chirping, right? And there's traffic going, and people hooting in the streets. Just take that as the rhythm of life. Sometimes you're hearing a breeze, sometimes you're hearing birds, sometimes you're hearing silence, you're hearing a stream, or you're hearing traffic, police sirens, the rhythm of city, right? Just take it as this is what's happening, and be calm and just allow yourself to be present in that. If you don't want to focus on your breathing, right? Just be present on what you're hearing, what's happening, right? Mindfully. So one of that, or the easiest, which most of us students is, just focus on observing your breathing, right? So we're gonna close your, so you're sitting comfortably. You don't have to sit in Siddhasana or anything. Just sitting comfortable, or you're sitting on your couch with your leg. You must be just comfortable, right? And then just clasp your hands together, or just touch the two hands, like that, and just place it on your lap in front of you. And then sit upright, your spine more or less straight. Doesn't have to be the rod straight, right? It's approximately straight, upright, right? Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and why we're just doing this, not necessary. You just want to be relaxed. Just put yourself in a very, and then tell yourself consciously, I'm taking a time out for 2 minutes only. Tell your brain, mind, no problem. You can think about all the stress, all the problems about the past, the present, the future, what's happening. Just pausing it, taking a time out for 2 minutes only. Tell yourself consciously, 2 minute time out, and you'll get back to it. Because nothing in the world not going to come to an end in the 2 minutes if you leave it. So just relax the mind. So mindfully, you're totally relaxed. Just imagine my voice telling you that, right? Take a deep breath and breathe out, your hands touching. You're sitting comfortably and just breathe naturally. Observe your breath or observe the environment, the sounds of whatever, or the silence. And just keep yourself to be totally relaxed. And close your eyes and let's sit now quietly for approximately 2 minutes. Okay, that's it. Just sit for 2 minutes, maybe in the evening or in the afternoon, or when you get up in the morning and before you start your day. Try to do it twice a day in your bed before you start. When you wake up, just sit and be totally relaxed like that. And in the evening, 2 minutes again, right? Only 2 minutes to feel that peace, and until you feel that peace and calm, until you get used to feeling. And when you start to feel that peace and calm, and you should try to be relaxed. And now that you've meditated with me, how do you are you feeling slightly more calm? Slightly, can you feel a slight difference in your calmness? And you're feeling a little bit more relaxed and ease, right? So, in my experience, I hadn't experienced someone who sat for the 2 minutes and didn't feel the calm. And usually in my yoga classes, after our yoga postures, we end with like a 5 to 10 minute meditation, right? So we just sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. And some of the students complain they want to sit longer and longer, right? Say, oh my God, I was feeling so good and so amazing. Why? So when you're feeling so amazing, you want to sit a little bit more, then you can sit until the amazing feeling is, is gone, right? And slowly the amazing feeling, because you're doing it the correct way, you're not forcing it, you're letting it to grow on its own naturally. This, until you're feeling that, once the amazing feeling stops and you start feeling irritable, stop same time, because now you're doing something opposite of meditation. Once you're starting to feel irritable, to up to the point you're feeling calm. But in the beginning, at least, to even if you're feeling miserable, do at least an approximate 2 minute. What you feel is 2 minutes in your mind, right? And then I dare you, I dare you, over a 6 month period, not to increase the 2 minutes. I dare you. Because on its own, you'll want to increase it, this method. And as you getting used to it and so forth, then you want to start introducing props like Buddhist lounge music, or some people like to listen to pop music. Some people like to listen to classical music. When they're meditating, it helps a lot. The number one thing, and some people like to put like the frequencies, right? The different frequency, how many hertz, and this hertz and that hertz, to listen to that. Some people like to listen to guided meditation. Some people like to listen to the hypnosis, program. Whatever is your poison, right? But music, I believe, is the best. You just put it on and you just sit until you feeling frustrated. Just in the beginning 2 minutes, and then after that, if you want to be a little longer, stay a little longer and you continue. Now, when you do it this way, especially if you're listening with music and sitting only until comfortable, until it's amazing, you'll see you'll be able to sit 45 minutes eventually, right? 1 hour. Then 2, 3 hours is nothing, right? Eventually you'll be able to 8 hours, right? You can put your music on loop or something, favorite music, listen to it. Listen with music and close your eyes and just be totally relaxed. Then you start feeling that amazing feeling. When you open your eyes, it's not just feeling rested, you start feeling that there's like something inside you developing and building, and it's such a bliss. It's a bliss that's growing inside you, like a flower. And then it starts to become so amazing and so blissful that you can't even speak, and then you just suddenly smash into the samadhi experience. It's like you break into it. It comes like a crash. It comes like an explosion, right? And then you get used to it, and then you go into the 3 levels, like you're going to breathless state, the grand master level, first stage, advanced breathless state, and then the next level is the levitation stage, and the next level above that is the reverse aging or deathless body state, right? Which is like someone who came very close to the deathless body state but just missed it, is the grand guru of Paramahamsa Yogananda in the autobiography of a yogi. Name is Lahiri Mahasoi. And but he was able to levitate. People saw him levitating, when he meditates. And the feeling will start growing slowly. And over a long period of time, then it start to feel amazing. Then it will no longer be a habit or a chore. It'll be something you looking forward to doing. And then you'll become addicted to it. It's the most addictive drug, but a safe, with no major side effects other than that you're going to go a little bit crazy and start talking crazy talk. So just hold yourself. Don't just talk what you experience, because after you mature in it, then you stop talking about it because people are not going to be able to relate to that, right? So this is the way to harness this amazing um, addictive nature. Once you're addicted to it, you're gonna feel that ecstatic, experience. It starts small over the weeks, months, years, decades, right? Some people in a few days, and some people, different people, they react differently to it. But you will start to feel amazing, as time is going on, and you will develop in it, right? And it is the most amazing high. There's nothing better than. It's not like I never tried any of that illegal drugs, and I tried alcohol. I was drinking alcohol for about 20 years. Now I don't drink now for another 20 years, right? Past 20 years, I haven't touched it. And I don't have the need to touch it because the feeling I go into when I'm meditating is no alcohol can replace it, right? So I'm not convinced that drug can come and replace that as well, right? So hope you get the answer, and hope you just try and start this practice and get into the habit and do it regularly. Man, you'll transform your life. Your balance will start showing itself in all your aspects, in your relationships, in your love life, in your assets, in your wealth building and knowledge building. You'll start to experience everything, the bliss of it, or the amazement of it, and of course the ecstasy as well. It is much more powerful than the physical intimacy, positive ecstatic experience. Much, multiples of times higher than that, right? So hope that information helps you, and take care.